Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ben, CEO and founder here at Bolt Deals, and today I'm going to share with you exactly why 99% of wholesalers lose money or fail with marketing agencies, and here's exactly how to avoid it. With that said, let's dive to the iPad and dive straight into it. So in this video, we're going to be covering four main things. The first one, as I mentioned, is why wholesalers fail with marketing agencies, right? What is the causation of the failure? The second thing is, when is the perfect time to actually hire a marketing partner? If you hire them too early, you might not have the necessary resources or team in place to actually succeed with them. And the third thing is what to actually look for in a marketing partner. So I'm going to share with you my exact vetting process when it comes to hiring coaches, consultants, or even mentors, right? And finally, how to succeed and have a long-lasting partnership with a marketing agencies. So with this video, I actually want to share two main things that we're trying to solve with this video. The first one is most agencies suck. And if you're a competitor watching this, you know exactly who you are. And the second thing is how to properly vet and succeed with a marketing agency to become their VIP client, also their lucky child, right? So I want to actually give proof before I dive into the main things. So to me, the three main KPIs that matter in a marketing agency is your client success rate, which I abbreviate as a CSR, which is as measured by a minimum of a 3x return on investment or return on ad spend. And for us, that's at 86%. The second thing is client satisfaction, and our source for that is client surveys. So we send our clients surveys every month, every 2 months to get feedback on what we can do better, where they stand, their satisfaction, their client success rate, etc. And for us, that's a 91% client success rate. And finally is net promoter score, right? So net promoter score tells us, the company, out of 10 clients, how many of them are actually willing to promote us to their friends and their family. At least that's how we track them. And obviously, in my personal opinion, I think we have the best relationships and friendships with our clients, given these pictures right here, right? So we got All Pro right here, who are 3 gentlemen out of California. Greenbelt over here, which is a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old. Grant is out of California, and Carson is based out of Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of my other former clients, Tim, who I spoke at his event, and this is Patty out in Houston, Texas, who were one of my first 3 clients, and we're still good friends and partners to this day, right? So let's dive in. Why wholesalers fail with marketing agencies, and my proof behind that is the average client success rate in the marketing agency space is 20%, which is fucking terrible. Because what that means is out of 10 clients, only 2 of them are getting results. Now, what they count as a result, that's a topic for another day. And what's worse is that some don't even know or track their client success rate, because the thing I don't like about this space is that they treat it as simply a marketing and a sales game, and their fulfillment is shitty at best. So the first reason, lack of proper foundation, and this comes from the wholesaler from my personal experience, right? And what I notice is that it's because they have little to no sales process, right? Because the way you look at it is marketing or lead generation is only one piece of the puzzle. You actually have to take that opportunity and convert it into a deal. And obviously the agency can't do that. And if the wholesaler can't close an open door, there's not much you can do, right? So that's the first one. Second thing is disposition process. Let's say you can get all these properties under contract, but you actually have no buyers to sell the deal to. The deal will never actually fund and you never make money. And nobody wants that, right? And finally, lack of exit strategy. So what I notice here is that many wholesalers that we work with specifically, they have more than one exit strategy. For example, they can mainly do wholesale, but they're also doing novations, creative finance. They might even buy the deal themselves and flip it, or they just keep it as a rental, right? So it's better to have many other exit strategies in your tool belt to monetize on as many leads as possible. And the second thing is improper expectations, and this comes down to the agency. And transparently, I'm guilty of this myself. So the first one is testimonials, right? I'll give an example. We have one case study or testimony of how we scaled a client from $0 to $214,000 per month in 6 weeks. And some clients will click on that, or some prospects, wholesalers will click on that and think just because they work with us means they can get the same result. And the reason why we share case studies and client success results like that is to show you what we are capable of what's possible. Not that you're going to get the exact same thing, but if you do, we're both happy, right? Next thing is agencies over-promising and under-delivering, right? So you hop on the sales call with the closer on the marketing agency, and they will over-promise all these leads, all these appointments, all these deals. But when you go to their client success side, where they actually have to reset expectations, it's a massive disappointment. And to me, people get disappointed simply because an expectation wasn't met. So for us, we like to actually under-promise. That way we can over-deliver. And a perfect example of this is pay per lead, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with pay per lead. And from my opinion, I think pay per lead is great for people who just want to, dip their toes in the water of inbound marketing, right? So where I see many wholesalers fail with pay per lead is that they'll buy 2, 3, 4, or even 5 leads. And let's say they don't get a contract, they'll just declare it a dud, right? And they'll just say inbound marketing doesn't work. And I think both parties know, the agency and the wholesaler knows that's not true, right? Third thing, budget and how to accurately project KPIs. And from what I've seen and spoken with some of our competitors, it's both parties, right? The agency, if they're just starting out, might not know how much to request on the daily budget. So how much should you actually be spending per day in inbound marketing across Facebook or PPC, also known as Google Ads, to get sufficient results within a specific amount of time? The second thing is our management fee. If somebody's charging you $500 a month and they're promising you to scale to $100K a month, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And the third thing is many wholesalers don't even know how much they should be spending on marketing, right? And for us, our rule of thumb is we want to be spending maximum 20% of our entire revenue or our P&L on marketing for that given month. Fourth thing is establishing target cost per acquisitions and reverse engineering numbers. I mean, if you've spoken with any agencies, they hop on, they tell you, here's how much you need to spend on the management fee, here's how much you need to spend on ads, but they don't tell you what you're going to get or why you should be spending that. They just say it because that's what they think is right. And it might be their fault, but it might also be your fault because you should have done your due diligence and gotten baseline benchmark before hopping on with the agency. Again, that's my personal opinion. And finally, some things to be careful of: rev share. Now, I'm not saying don't work with the agency that does rev share. Be very, very careful, vet them out properly to make sure they're not taking advantage of you, because some people say they're doing pay per deal, but you and I both know that's not true. Another thing is charging a percentage of ad spend. For me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this. For us, we either do two models. First thing is you either pay us a base retainer, and it covers us as much ad spend as you want, or it's a percentage of closed assignment fees or closed profits once they actually hit your account. Fourth thing is time horizon. Transparently, in my person, I know I wrote down wholesaler, but it's actually both parties as well. Both parties are the reason why they fail with inbound marketing, right? So a wholesaler might expect to work with a marketing agency and get a deal in the first month. Now, is that possible? Absolutely. Is it common? For us, transparently, it is, but with other agencies, unfortunately, it's not. So our current client averages around 4 to 6 weeks to get their first deal under contract, right? And that's on the conservative side. That's the expectation that I like to set transparently. And the thing that we tell all of our clients is getting the first deal is always the hardest, because once we get the first deal, the second, third, fourth, fifth is right around the corner, right? I call it the snowball effect, right? Or the popcorn effect. Another thing is inbound marketing is not a get rich quick scheme, right? You may see some gurus, some influencers just call up some leads and close them on the fly, close them on the live, and expect you can get those same results. Now, can you? Absolutely. Is the likelihood of that high? Probably not. And I don't say that to offend you. I just say that to be honest to you. So an alternative way to look at it is inbound marketing, whether you're working with a pay-per-lead company or somebody to actually manage your campaigns, you're investing time, you're buying data to build a marketing system that produces long-term results, right? Because if you only do it for 2-3 months, can you get results? Absolutely. But if you do it for 3, 4, 5 years, the results you're going to get are unlike anything else you've ever seen. And I promise you, chances of you going back to outbound marketing, cold calling, text busting, things like that, it's not going to happen, right? And finally, this is by far the biggest one, is there is no flywheel or feedback cycle between the marketing and the acquisitions team, right? You may hear how marketing hates sales or acquisitions, and acquisitions hates the marketing team. And this is exactly how we fix this, right? You have to have a constant feedback loop between both teams, both departments, to know what's working, what's not, and where the real constraint in the business is. Because if you don't, you're going to be focused on solving the wrong problem and you're going to get the wrong results, or at least the results you don't want. So as I mentioned, nobody knows what works versus what doesn't because there's no feedback loop. And because of that, there's an incorrect allocation of budget and the ability to scale campaigns profitably, right? Because if you're building a marketing campaign and you scale it to a certain point, there becomes diminishing returns. And if you don't allocate and have proper data attribution set up, you're going to end up wasting a lot of money, a lot of ad spend, right? Hey, I hope you're getting a lot of value from this video. If you are an investor doing 2 or more deals per month and you're looking to scale your business with inbound marketing, click the link in the description or in the comments to schedule a call with either me or a member of my team. I'd love to sit down with you and break down exactly what the system would look like inside of your business. With that said, back to the video. So this part here, I think I'm going to share with you our exact process to prevent our clients from getting diminishing returns with inbound marketing. So we basically have what I call a lead tracking sheet, right? So the way it works is every lead that comes in, we have stages where we're able to check every stage of the process, where it came from, what's working, what's not, etc. Right? So on top right here, this is simply a dashboard. So where each lead is, excuse me, the status of that lead. You see this on graph here, and then you can see a like a summary right here. There we go, and then KPIs / close rates right here. Right, the bottom right here is obviously it's a sample account. So the way we have this set up, and we actually have a video talking about our lead attribution system and how if you have something like this in place, it can 8x, have an 800% increase in the results of your marketing, right? So we have the stage, is it a contract, is it deadly, whatever the case is, the status, priority. So priority is how much money you're gonna make. If it's a high priority, it's a higher MQL. Client name, lead type, are you going to flip it, wholesale it? What's your exit strategy on this basically? Is it an MQL, right? What is an MQL? An MQL stands for marketing qualified lead. And at the end of the day, this is what we're optimizing for. Sellers who need to sell as opposed to just wanting to sell, right? Property address, that's obvious. State, where is the state? And the reason why we ask this is so we can see where the most marketing qualified leads are coming from. And as a result, we can hone in on that market. You may have heard in all my other videos how we like to cast a big net and pinpoint exactly where the best markets are, and we can hone into those. Projected assignment fee, this is V1, but V2 now we actually have a client put in how much the projected assignment fee is. That way we can calculate return on ad spend. Touch points. So reason why we ask this is we can see, for example, which state yields the highest or quickest cash conversion cycle. In other words, less touch points, right? This is just a part of this. Phone numbers, last contact date, etc. Right? So having a lead tracking system like this with your agency, or if your agency is not providing this with you, you're in big trouble, right? You should probably get your money back and run the other way, right? But for us, what we use this for with our clients is as they update this, we on our internal marketing team, we get feedback on what's working, what's not, and we can optimize on the fly. So that's exactly how we keep feedback loops tight with our clients on the sales side and us on the marketing side. So let's talk about when the perfect time is to hire an agency to ensure both parties win, right? You get the results you want, you close deals, and the agency, they have a long-term partner that they can trust, build a relationship with, and we both make money, right? And the simple answer is having the proper foundations in place. If you can't close a door, not many agencies can help, right? You can't shy away from the root cause, because if you suck at sales and you can't close deals, no agency is going to be able to help you. No agency, from my personal opinion, is actually going to sit on there and close deals for you. That's just not going to happen, right? The budget is there. For me personally, depending on what platform you're doing, depending on what markets you're going to, the budget varies. But my rule of thumb is I want to aim for at least 2 to 3 deals per month. So if you know, after speaking to a bunch of your other friends who are running inbound marketing, that the average cost per deal is $2,500, you want to aim to have at least $5,000 to $6,000 per month in inbound marketing on the safe side, right? Because if you just want 1 deal a month, it's like, I mean, in my personal opinion, it might not even be worth it, right? And finally, you are ready for inbound marketing, and working with an agency is the right decision for you if you're ready to add fuel to the fire, right? You have all your processes in place, your acquisitions, your sales, your dispositions, your transaction, all your SOPs and processes are lined up, and they're, in other words, a well-oiled machine. And all you have to do is just add more volume, add more leads to the system, more inputs, right? So for us, our ICP, or many agencies' ideal customer profile, is somebody who's already closing 2+ deals per month. So for us, we only try to bring on wholesalers that are already closing 2 or more deals per month. Second thing is having acquisitions and dispo in place. So you have to have at least 1 or 2 acquisition managers in place, because once we solve marketing, because marketing is typically the first constraint in every business. If you don't have marketing, you don't have leads, you don't have contracts, you can't do much with it, right? So for us, Once the marketing constraint is solved, the second constraint then becomes team, right? Your acquisitions and your dispo. And the challenge that we ran into starting out is that we would send a client so many leads and they'll get so many contracts that they'll actually have to pause their marketing, pause the ads to actually go close those deals. And for us, if something's working, we want to put more fuel to the fire. We want to increase ad spend. We want to scale as much as we humanly can until things break. The 5K per month marketing budget, we already discussed that. And finally, be able to commit to inbound marketing for 4 to 6 months minimum, right? If you're looking to do this for just 1 to 2 months, will you get results? Absolutely. But will you get long-lasting, sustainable results? Not really, right? You want to commit to something for at least 4 to 6 months to actually prove to the agency that this is exactly what you want to do long term. And in my personal opinion, and this is what I tell people all the time, because for people that schedule a call to speak with either me or a member of my team, we actually disqualify almost 70% of people that schedule a call. And the biggest thing is because they're trying to rush this, and I rather you take the time, build the systems out, get everything in order, and then come back to me. So in my personal opinion, as I mentioned, it's better to wait a little bit longer and have your foundations in place than rush with an agency to burn tens of thousands of dollars trying to figure it out, right? That's not what we're trying to do here. So let's talk about what to actually look for. Let's say you are an agency, a marketing agency's ideal customer profile. You're already closing 2 or 3 deals per month. You already have your acquisitions, your disposition in place. You have the budget. You're willing to commit it to long term. What do you actually look for in a marketing agency to know that they're a legit person? They know what the hell they're talking about. And what are some red flags to avoid? I'm excited for the red flags part. So first thing is obvious. Somebody that's been there, done that, right? Look at their customers' case studies. Look at their testimonials, right? I know I started shitting on testimonials earlier, but look at their case studies. Look at their breakdowns, right? Have they helped another person achieve what you're trying to achieve? If not, they're probably not the right person for you, right? Or you're going to be to test money. And if that's something you're okay with, pull the trigger with them, right? It's your money, not mine. Do whatever you want, right? Second thing is data, account transparency. This is a massive, massive thing that you have to be looking for, because some agencies like to run things under their account, under their pixel. And if you don't know what a pixel is a piece of code that you put on the website or your landing page to do one of two things. The first thing is conversion tracking, and the second thing is audience building, right? And if the agency owns that, they're building their data set off of your money. And if that's something you want, it should, right? Because that is something you absolutely want to own yourself, right? Make sure the agency does everything under your name and your brand, or else you'll be losing a lot of money and missing out on a lot of opportunities, right? The second thing is KPIs. Make sure that you have full transparency. You can log into your ad accounts. You can see where your money is being spent. Next thing is billing ad spend upfront. Oh my goodness. If you are working with an agency or you spoke to an agency and they want to bill you ad spend upfront, in my personal opinion, run away, because chances are they're going to profit off of your ad spend, which should be tailored to generating leads. I've heard some horror stories about this. So if you want to stay on the safe side, tell the agency, hey, I want to put my card in the ad account and have Facebook bill me directly. Don't do it the other way. You're going to burn a lot of money, and I'm willing to put money on that. Right? I'll match your ad spend on that. That's how confident I am. Next thing is media buying strategy. So when you're having your sales call, your little discovery call with them, ask the sales guy or the closer, whoever you're speaking to, what is their method for actually testing, optimizing, and scaling campaigns, right? Because a lot of agencies, believe it or not, do what I call lazy media buying, right? And the way this works is they throw everything up at once, let Facebook figure it out, and never optimize, never scale them, never even look at the campaigns. And if you're a competitor, you know exactly who you are. And finally, you want to make sure the agency sets proper expectations and is able to give you data. So you want to make sure the agency is going to tell you, hey, what's working inside of your campaign, what's not working, what they're going to do about it, and the expectations that you can have when it comes to their action plan. An agency should be the first person to raise their hand and be like, hey, this thing is not working the way we want. Here's what we're going to do about it, and here's what you can expect from this change. If not, you just got a guy that's charging you money and never looking at your account, which my recommendation, you don't want that, right? And finally, an agency that underpromises and overdelivers, right? Whenever they're setting expectations with you, it might not be the most pleasing numbers. They might just be setting proper expectations. That way, whenever you do get results or exceed those results, you're a happy camper, right? So just understand, if they're saying, here's how many leads you're gonna get minimum, they're underestimating that. I promise you, right? Because this is what I do myself. Red flags. Oh, competitors are not going to like this. First one is lack of recent testimonials and incorrect data on case studies, right? So if you look at their Instagram or their YouTube and you look at their case studies or their testimonials and they haven't posted one in 6 months, a year, 2 years, chances are they're probably not getting clients or results, right? And the second thing, and this is something that's really, really funny to me, is incorrect data on case studies. And here's how to find that, right? If it's something, you actually want to validate. When an agency is sharing their case studies on YouTube, validate, run through the numbers, calculate the numbers yourself to make sure the numbers are actually correct. And if it's way off, that should be a red flag for you, right? It's curious. It's really funny. Second thing is the business is carried on one client success person, right? If there's only one account manager or there's only one media buyer, chances are you're not going to be a priority for them. I hate to break it to you, but if an agency has 100 clients and they have one media buyer, maybe two media buyers, understand that each media buyer is handling anywhere from 50 to 100 accounts. I'll be honest, they're not even going to look at your account. It's just not going to happen. You know it. I know. We all know it, right? Next thing is lack of access to ad accounts, right? As I mentioned earlier, if the agency fails to give you access to the ad account that they're running your ads and using your credit card on, if they're even using your credit card, that should be a massive red flag, right? Because who knows if they're using your ad spend on another client, right? You don't know that. And I've seen this. So please make sure they're running everything under your ad account, under your name and your brand. Next is they are against having leads go to your CRM, right? If they want the leads to go to their CRM, but they're absolutely against going to your CRM, and they want everything in theirs, it's a red flag because they're trying to own the data. Who knows? They might have somebody else on their team calling, trying to close these deals. They may be sharing leads. There's a lot of nightmare stories. I'm telling you this so you can avoid it. Make sure you do your due diligence properly when it comes to vetting agencies. Next is distracted founders. Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If the founder has, now, how do I want to say this without pissing people off? If you work with an agency, in my personal opinion, do a little bit of due diligence on the founder because at the end of the day, the founder is the best person you can have on that team, right? And if that guy's distracted, imagine what would happen to you. They're probably distracted as well, right? Which makes your account even less of a priority, right? So if your founders run 2-3 different companies, be very careful. And if you don't even have access to them, that's a bigger issue, right? Next thing is pay per deal. Boy, oh boy, this is gonna ruffle some feathers. If there's an agency out there that genuinely is telling you, hey, you don't pay us until you close a deal, you and I both know that's a lie. Let's call it what it is, right? And transparently, it's a bait and switch, right? They hop on, they lure you in. Hey, you only give us $1,000 per deal that you close, but in reality, it's a bait and switch. The way it works is, there's two options. The first option is it's $0 setup fee, $0 ad spend, and you pay them 50% of deals that close. So it's still pay per deal, right? And then option two is the one where they really want you, where it's a $10,000 setup fee, you pay ad spend, and you pay them $1,000 per deal. So they want to lure you into this one. They use the pay per deal as a bait. Now, being honest with you, it's not there anymore. But if there are people still running that, it's something to be absolutely careful of. And in my personal opinion, run away from that. And you know the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, right? Next thing is over-promising results. Oh my goodness. If they're telling you you could spend $50 a day, which is $1,500 a month, and you get 3 deals out of it, and you're in California, I mean, in my personal opinion, you should have done your due diligence to know that is absolute BS because a cost per deal of $500 in California to make 30 grand per deal, 15 to 30 grand per deal, the numbers don't even make sense, right? So come on, guys, like you guys are better than this. So with those red flags out of the way, actually, I want to even add one more to them. If the sales guy is just an asshole, if he's trying to hard close you, and he has a total meltdown if you don't close him, I would run away from them, right? Because they need the sale. They're a little desperate. You know how this goes. It's commission breath. Next thing, let's talk about how to succeed and have a long-lasting partnership with agencies. First thing is having proper expectations and resources on both parties, right? So you the investor, you the wholesaler must have your sales process dialed in, your SOPs dialed in. You make sure you own all the data. The agency is setting proper expectations. The budget's aligned. KPIs are in check. Projections make sense, etc. You need to have that in place before you've been signing up and paying a marketing agency. That's my personal opinion, right? Second thing is consistent communication and feedback on campaign performance. So for us here at Bolt Deals, and what I tell my team is, it's better to over communicate with the client than under communicate with the client. So if you're working with the agency right now, you're only talking to them once a week, whether it's on Slack, Discord, or Zoom, that's a bit of a problem, right? But if you're talking to them every day, multiple times a day, telling them what's good, what's bad, and you guys are actually serving as a partnership, then the feedback loop is tighter and you guys get results a lot quicker, right? Next is highlight the wins across the journey, right? From my personal opinion, the clients that do the best are always the ones that understand that the losses are not always going to be there forever, and the wins, you got to celebrate those, right? If you get a seller, you made an offer to them, you're pretty confident they're going to close, or you're pretty confident you're going to get them under contract, highlight that. Tell that to the agency. It gets them motivated, it gets them excited, it gets them amped, right? When you get a contract, when you close the deal, tell them, hey man, I just made $40,000 on this deal. Highlight it and let them know so they can make their optimizations and scale your campaigns properly. And finally, I know it's common sense, but you know what they say, right? Common sense is not so common nowadays. Do not be a pain in the ass. If you are one, just say, hey, I'm sorry. Here's what I'm going to do better. Take accountability, take extreme ownership over yourself, right? Respect the team. If you're an asshole to the team and they don't give you as much attention as you want, I don't know what to tell you, right? Second thing is work with agencies to solve things peacefully. Transparently, everybody makes mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. The team's going to make mistakes. The founder's going to make mistakes. I make mistakes, believe it or not, right? I'm a human as well. And finally, do not go on the do not enrollment or the blacklist. So just for the fun of it, I say this not to scare anybody, but many agencies in the space, they have a group chat or a spreadsheet of clients or people that are on the blacklist that are just nightmare clients, right? Everybody has nightmare challenges and nightmare stories with clients or with sellers. Agencies have the same thing. Just don't be a pain in the ass and go on that blacklist because when you schedule another call and they disqualify you or they tell you, hey, you can't work or they can't work with you, it sucks. So you don't want to go on there. So with that said, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Transparently, this video was hopefully educational for you, but it was very fun for me to rat out some of our competitors because I know they're going to get mad at this because I called some of them out. But again, I wanted to share with you exactly, how do you actually make sure you're ready for an agency, what to look for in an agency, red flags, things to avoid the pitfalls, avoid yourself from losing tens of thousands of dollars, and finally, how to succeed with an agency and have a long-lasting partnership with them. And finally, be their problem child. With that said, my name is Benjamin, CEO and founder here at Bolt Deals. And if you are an investor doing 2 or more deals per month and you're looking to scale your business with the exact inbound marketing systems in place that we use for all of our clients to get them a minimum of 3 to 5x return on their ad spend, click the link in the description or the comments, schedule a call with either me or a member of my team. And I'd love to sit down and walk you through all the numbers and what the system would look like into your business. With that said, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Wait. If you enjoyed this video, you actually want to check out some of the bloopers, stay with me in the next few minutes. There's some bloopers and I hope you enjoy it. Again, my name is Benjamin. I look forward to hopefully speaking with you. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Instagram and enjoy the bloopers. So it's better to have many tool belts inside of your belt, many tool belts inside of your fuck. And finally is how to succeed again and have a lot. Wait, fuck, I said that already. Okay. Oh, there we go.